Welcome in to Extreme Talk, presented by Cornett Performance. A little bit about Cornett Performance, talking about Eli Cornett, former 8-man football player, former college football player. And what him and Cornett Performance do, they offer one-on-one and group training, speed and agility training, football and track focus training, and then each athlete or client will have their own personal customized program. It's for ages 10 and up. They do online training sessions. I had it pulled up. There we go. You can book a free in-person or online 30-minute assessment today. They offer 45 and 60-minute sessions. They're $30 per, and you can reach out to them on Instagram at Cornett Performance, or you can shoot them an email, cornettperformance@gmail.com. Again, that's Cornett, CORNETT Performance at Cornett Performance on Instagram, or you can shoot them an email, cornettperformance@gmail.com. Bring on my co-host. He is a former 4-year starter at Sacred Heart of Jesus High School, former All-American, and he's had a bit of a rough 24 hours. Mr. Blake Biggs.
James, obviously we all know the result of the game. The good guys lost today.
Oh gosh.
And the evil forces up north beat LSU the other day, and America lost yesterday.
Joining me now is a man who, at some point this week on social media, owes all of us his best rendition of Rocky Top, Mr. Blake Biggs.
James, there's one thing that I am, and I'm a man of my word. There will be a video of me singing Rocky Top at some point. We made a bet. James would have to buy a cowbell if Mississippi State won the game yesterday, and I would have to sing Rocky Top.
Which I'm going to be honest. In the fourth quarter, I was shopping cowbells. I was getting my ducks in a row because I too am a man of my word. And we there was going to be some cowbells. I was going to follow through, but the good guys pulled it off. I will say, okay, it's complete honesty. Y'all do have a really, really cute stadium. I love it. It's so quaint. It's really nice.
Well, you almost lost in that cute little stadium.
You're not wrong.
Hey, outside of the field, I just want to say this. Do you remember the Lane Kiffin, Derek Dooley, Butch Jones years?
Way too well.
Yeah. So here's what I'll say about State. All right. So we lost our coach. I wouldn't wish this on our worst enemy.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, the Pirate. In 22, and we had coming back a 9-win roster. The second leading pass yard leader in SEC history come back. And it was too late in the coaching cycle for us to hire, a good coach. So we had to go in staff, and Zach Cornett came in and just messed our entire offense up.
Yep.
5-7. We had to get rid of him. Then Levy comes in. We had 50-plus players leave our roster that year, 2-10.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. And then, this season, everything that's happened leading up to this point, I'm just saying Tennessee had 10 years of irrelevance and struggle and hurt, whereas, after something like that has happened to us, like Mike Leach dying, in 3 years, we brought you tooth and nail, and we almost beat you. So, we may have lost the game, but you know what? I can say that. That we fought you tooth and nail.
Absolutely.
And we did it quicker than anybody else. So,
and you know what? Y'all will get that SEC win eventually. It will come. The streak will end. If the Undertaker streak can end, so can Mississippi State's.
Yeah. We'll be fine. Be fine.
I have to. Okay. We've got to get to talking about the scores, and we'll get to that in a second. Blake, maybe you've never experienced this. I got to talk about a pet peeve real fast that happened to me on
Yeah.
the way here. Just bugs the daylights out of me. If folks, public service announcement, okay? If you're on a not necessarily a one lane road, okay? It's pretty much a one lane road. If
Uh-huh.
you are turning off of a road onto a one lane road and you see a car coming, sit your rear end right there and let them turn so you can turn on the one lane road. Don't turn on the one lane road and then pull off in someone's driveway to let them by. Okay, I'm good. I live on a one lane road and just nonstop. People will see me coming up the road and will just go ahead and turn and then pull off in this driveway. And if I was the people that owned that driveway, anyways. Okay, I'm good. Got it out of my system.
What is going on in your neck of the woods, man?
Dude, we ain't got people. We don't have anybody who knows how to drive. I know that's a very common issue everywhere. So to be fair, but we don't have anybody. We don't.
I mean, you're
it's
better off having a gravel road at that point.
at that point, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so what we're going to do this week, folks, and Blake and I talked this over, and it seems like this is the move, is we're going to shake things up a little bit. Every week, typically, we have gone through every single score, which, Blake, I think it ends up being between 85 to 90 games, maybe closer to 80. But what we're going to do, we're going to shake it up this week. We're gonna try this out. I like it. But Blake and I are going to go over our top 5 games from the past week. And if we want an honorable mention, we can throw in an honorable mention. But we're going to talk about our top 5 games from the past week. And then after our interview with Mr. Johnny Perrette with MAIS 8-Man Fan on Twitter, we will preview our upcoming top 5 games. So we're going to give that a try. Blake, I say we go back and forth. And I'll give one, and then you give one, and we'll kind of do it that way.
Yeah, so are we wanting to start with top 5 this past week? And
we'll do top 5 from this past week. We'll do the interview, and then we'll do top 5 this upcoming week.
Yeah. Okay.
So you go ahead. You start.
Yeah. Okay. So this isn't number 5. This is actually a honorable mention. My first game of the week, honorable mention, of course, is Freedom Life at number 22, Acadiana Christian, from this past week's ranking. That game, 60-0 in favor of Acadiana. And everybody's probably asking, Blake, why would you choose that game? I mean, it was 60-0. Here's why. And I saw this in response to the rankings off Acadiana Christian's coach. Something that they have that I've not known about. This is their 3rd annual Armed Forces Bowl.
Yep.
And the event pays homage to the heroes, because that's who they are, to keep the country safe. And during the game, they honor, all members of the military branch in the Navy, Marines, Air Force, Coast Guard, National Guard, Army. I mean, you name it. And I'm such a big sucker for philanthropy and, honoring our military that I just had to throw that in the honorable mention category, even though the game wasn't great itself, but the intent, love it, man. Absolutely love it.
And we disagree on this. I'm a fan of the jerseys. I love the jerseys they wear for that. We disagree on it.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan of. They've got the Louisiana National Guard logo on there, and it's pretty cool. I would be interested to see more teams doing it, and see what more teams, like what their uniforms would look like, incorporating something like that. That would be cool.
Yeah. See, I see the intent. The execution just isn't there from a design standpoint.
I don't know, man. I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, we can agree to disagree.
So my honorable mention from this past week is one that it's not. I know it's going to be like, oh, you're a homer, whatever. CCS, Christian Community School, up here in Tennessee, which is where I played. But they are playing a string of 11-man games to kind of help with their schedule because scheduling got a little bare. And they're playing a local public school, probably about 40 minutes from CCS, called Joe Burns High School. It's in the middle of nowhere. I think it's in Adams, Tennessee, is where it's technically. Um, but playing an 11-man game, 3-win 11-man team. Now, granted, they beat some other teams that were winless, and so they're not beating big teams, but it's a pretty big deal, right? And CCS just went to Zion Christian, who was winless when they played. They lost 7-0, so it's like, okay, this one we'll see how it goes. But CCS ended up pulling out the win, 22-21, scoring a touchdown with under a minute left, and then getting the 2-point conversion. And then the defense held Joe Burns to having to try, which their kicker just hit a 59-yard field goal, I think. Not this past week, but the week before that. So they held him to trying a 55, and CCS blocked it. So CCS, their first 11-man win in program history, not even as a full-time 11-man team, but their first 11-man win. So a huge shout out and congratulations to them, and that's my honorable mention.
Yeah, and James, let me ask this: Joe Burns, they're not just like some slum, like 11-man team that goes like 0-8, 1-7, 1-9, or are they?
They've struggled the last couple years, but I mean typically they're a 4-5 win, about a 500 team. I would say. So I mean, it's nothing crazy. They're just an old country school.
Okay.
There's some good teams in their division, in the TSSAA up here. Not in their region, but the division as a whole, the whole state. There's some good teams. So
are they 1A or are they 2A?
I want to say they're 1A.
Okay.
I want to say they're 1A, but that's my honorable mention from this past week. So we'll get into the top. Let's get into the top 5.
Yeah.
In no particular. Well, for me, it's no particular order. I don't know. Maybe you ranked them.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did.
Nope. No problem.
Yeah. So for my 5th game, this one was kind of shocker. Jacksonville Christian, Russell Christian.
Bro.
38-0 Russell, and again, another shutout. Like, Blake, why are you choosing it? Russell just dominated from front to back from this game. I think it was 28-0 at halftime for Russell.
It was either 28 or 32.
Yeah, it wasn't just like close at all. And considering last year what had happened, streak ending in the CFA championship. Yeah, I mean, this is just a statement game from Russell. They'll probably find themselves flirting with the top 25 here pretty shortly after that win.
That was a big I wouldn't say upset, but a big win.
They needed that, yeah.
My first game, I didn't rank up, but my first game also comes from the CFA, the ACA, whatever, and that's Cornerstone Tuscaloosa. Cornerstone Christian, Tuscaloosa Christian. Cornerstone with a 49-44 win. I want to give a couple special shout-outs. Jess Nelson, 16 carries, 237 yards, 5 touchdowns, and then he was 5 for 5 on extra points, and he had a 2-point conversion. So a total of 6 times that's hang on. My math isn't mathing. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 5 is 35, plus 2 is 37. So he scored 37 of Cornerstone's 49 points. And then also got a shout-out Colby Harrison from Cornerstone. 18 tackles, 15 of them were solo, 2 tackles for loss, a sack, and a pass defensed. But really back and forth game there between Cornerstone and Tuscaloosa, 2 teams still trying to find their footing, and real barn burner Friday night. So that's one of my top 5 games from this past week.
Yeah. So number 4 for mine, again, this is the last blowout I have on here. Let me say that.
I didn't realize that, but yeah.
Yeah. Hernando Christian out of Florida. they just came in All Saints Academy and just put that defense to bed. I'd had this on my radar for a long time. All Saints had a really good defense. They had a really good offense, but an even better defense. 1.5 points per game allowed
Mm.
before this game.
Yeah.
They gave up 38 tonight. And Hernando, that's their 4th win of the season. Their only loss is to real life Christian, who is at number, I can't remember what number they were at, but they were top 5.
You talking about last week?
Yeah, last week. I think they're
last week they were number 3.
okay. Yeah, they're a top 3 team in the country, and they came in and beat the number 16 team on the road. One of the best defenses in 8-man football,
Yeah.
and they hold them to, they 38 points on them. They drop them, and they hold one of the best offenses. I mean, just dominant performance right there by Hernando. I would not be surprised if they're ranked in the morning.
I wouldn't be surprised either. That was one that I didn't see. You might have had it on your radar. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. Another one of my top 5 games. I'm gonna go to Mississippi, and I'm gonna go Delta Academy and Delta Streets Academy. Delta Streets gets the 40-36 win. Lance Link scored and also scored the 2-point conversion with 3:45 to play in the game to put Delta Streets up 40-36. And then Autry Oates gets a pick in the end zone with 1:30 left off of a Delta Academy Hail Mary to win. So Delta Streets with a big win there. Both teams, if I'm not mistaken, let me double check myself. I think both teams I think they had one win going into that one. Let me see. I'm going to double check myself on that. Yeah, so both teams had one win going into that game. So not a powerhouse matchup. But just I'm a sucker, even if it's two teams that are struggling. I'm a sucker for an even matchup. If it's two teams that are struggling and they're going to have a barn burner, I will go to that game every day of the week. Because I want to see an evenly matched football game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's one of my games of the week. Delta Streets Academy and Delta Academy.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on to my number 3. James, I just sent you a link to a video. But it's number 11 Sherwood, last week's rank, at Georgia Christian. Georgia Christian, earlier in the year, they played spoiler to Westwood, who was ranked at one point. And I mean, just kind of an upset. And I mean, they're a team that's got, they can beat you any given Friday. And one thing I kind of like, I know this is kind of random, but I saw it during when I was looking at their max preps. I don't know if you see the video, Jane. That's the best looking field I've seen, best field I've ever seen.
Let me pull it up real fast.
Yeah,
I saw you send it to me, but I hadn't looked at it yet. You sent me. Let me see. That's
it's
Grace. That's Grace versus Georgia Christian.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not the highlights from the game, but it's at Georgia Christian.
Yeah.
I don't. If you can pull it up and watch a little bit of it, the field design is incredible. They have the alarm clock font as the yard markers.
Really?
They got the interlocking GCS logo at midfield. They got that stripe. It's one side is blue, the middle is white, and then the other side is gray. And then they have diamonds that spell, I think it's Georgia Christian. I don't know what it spells. I can't really read it.
So I see the numbers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
See, I'm watching a field goal right now. The only downside about this video is it's from NFHS.
Yeah.
Can't stand them. But shout out to our 8-man extreme channels. Okay, so I see Okay, so I see it looks like a striped end zone, and then they
Yeah.
did like a
It's
counter stripe almost with the letter.
yeah,
I
it's
wonder
like
if they paint that, or paint it and fill it in, or if they leave it blank like that, bare like that.
yeah, I think there's letters in it. I don't know what it spells. I can't really see it, but like that's one of the coolest looking fields
That's
I've
a
ever
pretty
seen.
cool field. Okay,
Yeah.
and there's the interlock. Okay, well
Yeah.
we've already established you're a sucker for interlocking
Yes.
logo. You're a sucker
Yeah.
for that.
Yes. But I mean, outside of that, 34-30 in favor of Sherwood. So they barely squeaked by on the good looking field. Georgia Christian, they know how to play spoiler. I would not be surprised if they beat another ranked team this coming season. I think they still have to play. Let me pull their schedule back up. They still have to play some ranked teams at some point, but
By the way,
um,
Joe Burns is a 1A school. We did have someone comment and update
oh
that. So, anyways,
yeah, they got David Emmanuel and Chris Academy left, but I mean, look for them in the playoffs. So you know,
DEA is still good.
yeah, no, DEA is still
So
good. They're ranked. I'm saying look for them to beat a ranked team. Maybe in the playoffs, play
right,
sport. You know,
right.
anyway,
Well, another one of my top 5 games, going over to Georgia, is GSIC and Coastal, Georgia School for Innovation, the Classic, and Coastal. Um, this is the second time they've played, and Coastal's schedule they've struggled with their schedule a little bit. So they've only played 3 games. This was their third game, but they only lost I think by 2 scores in the first time they played GSIC, and then they had the game against Augusta that was close up until the very end. And then the one Friday night was 32-26, GSIC barely getting a win. And so it's more so to shout out Coastal that at some point they're knocking on the door. They still got to play. Um, I know they still got to play Pack, and then I'm spacing on who else they got to play. But they're knocking on the door. They're gonna get that win. But a shout out to them for just showing up and fighting, and giving GSIC all they could handle. I love to
yeah,
see it.
yeah, yeah. All right. Ooh, excuse me. So number two, I've got this one was a close one. Number one, Carey
Ooh, yeah.
went on the road to JP2, who's ranked 17. I think one of the first matchups we've had. I don't know about that. Don't quote me on that.
I feel like we had one in Georgia.
Yeah, I think we had. Um,
But this was the
2014.
highest one. I'm sorry, this was the
Yeah,
highest one.
this no the closest one I would say. Um, 2014 in favor of Carey. They barely squeak away with a win. They pick up another ranked win to add to their already loaded resume. Um, I think on the year they beat the reigning South Carolina champs, the national champs. They beat Fan Hills, who was undefeated at the time. Life Christian, Wake Christian, and then the number 17 team in the
Mm.
nation. I mean, they're rolling right now. And they got 2 bye weeks coming up. Because they got a little break because Halifax canceled their season. And they had a game that was supposed to be played, but we'll see because their next game is against a Faith Christian team who's pretty good themselves. JP2, their first loss, and yeah,
Well, and like you said, they've got Faith coming up, and then they've got a game at the end of October that will feed families.
yeah,
Carey and Arundel. That's a big one. But again, Carey's got to be careful not to overlook Faith,
yeah,
because
hmm
Faith only has one loss on the year, and that was a close one to Arundel. So
yeah.
let's
I'm
let's be let's not let's not start disrespecting Faith now. So,
no, no,
and I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying in general, they still got it going on.
yeah. I'm trying to think. The only stats I'm seeing on Max Preps is Krishawn Williams, 90 yards through the air, or excuse me, on the ground, 18 carries for 90 yards, 2 touchdowns for JP2. Not bad,
Not bad at all.
not bad.
Uh, let's see. I got 2 games left. You got 1, and then we got Johnny Perrette coming on. It's supposed to be 3:30, so we'll kind of roll through these real quick. If I hadn't run my mouth at the beginning of the show, we'd be good. I'm gonna hop up to Virginia, Chincoteague High School at Kinston Forest School. Chincoteague ends up winning that one, 24-20. Um, and I had to text and verify that this was correct. Kinston Forest was up 20-0 to start the fourth quarter. Chincoteague reeled off 24 points in the fourth quarter to win that ball game.
Yeah.
And came from behind. Mikael Lundby on defense for Kinston Forest, though, who ended up losing, still ended up having 18 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and a fumble recovery. So shout out to that young man. Shout out to the team for getting the stats on Max Preps. But shout out to Chincoteague, 24 unanswered to come back and win in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Just an excellent, excellent showing there.
Wow. All right. For my number 1 game of the week, James, I had to go with Prairie View at Briarfield. Prairie View rolled to the reigning state champions' nest and escaped with a 49-48 victory. And I can't remember the name of that district that it's called. It's numbered.
I think they're in
District 4.
Yeah, 4. Yeah, I think they're in 4.
And it's funny, is the smallest team or the smallest district in MAIS only has 3 teams. All 3 of those teams are undefeated and in the top 25.
And it's interesting you mentioned that game in the MAIS because we've got Johnny coming on to break down some MAIS football. But that game was incredible.
Yeah.
Big time win for Prairie View.
Yeah. I had Briarfield, honestly, winning that one. I thought they were the more proven team.
Yeah.
But Prairie View pulled it out.
Well, my number 1 game is down in Florida. And I say number 1. My last game of the top 5. Down in Florida, Geneva Classical taking on Lake Mary Prep. Geneva Classical wins that one 56-52. Absolute barn burner of a game. They had never played before. They're only an hour apart, opposite sides of Orlando, but they had never played before. Friday night was the first time. They kick off the series with 108 points scored and a 4-point game. But it was really cool for Geneva, too, because they had lost 5 in a row on the road. So they snapped the losing streak on the road. And then these two kick off a series between them with just a great, great ball game down in the Sunshine State Athletic Association. So big shout out to both of them for keeping it moving and just having a great game. Love to see it. A lot of 4-point games too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm just now realizing. Yeah, I had 3 4-point games. But yeah, I mean, a huge shout out to all these teams and the games that happened. The other games that we have not talked about, I can't say it enough. If you go to our social media, the link in the bio is for a link tree, and the scoreboard is on there where you can see all the scores from the past week. Tonight it'll get updated to show the games coming up. This upcoming, you know what? I'll leave the scoreboard up from this week, from this past week, and then I'll add the scoreboard for this upcoming week. That's what I'll do. And that way, folks can still go back and reference it. But go back and you can go back and see all the scores that we didn't mention on that scoreboard, as well as the rankings. Those will be updated every Monday morning. Is when those rankings will go live. But Blake, a great slate of games there. This past Friday, Saturday, technically. Love to see it. Love to see. We're right dead in the middle of the best time of the year, just dead in the middle of football season. Can't get enough of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. October is the best time of the year, James, especially for football.
It's also my birthday month. It's a great time of year. Uh,
Well, happy birthday.
well, we're not there yet. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Let me go ahead and get our guest lined up here. Um, we'll see if we can get him on the phone here.
Hello. Hello.
Joining me now is the man behind at MAIS 8-Man Fan on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it. It's an account that keeps up with MAIS 8-Man football, as the name says. But it's a really cool follow on Twitter. Really enjoy keeping up with it. Mr. Johnny Perrette, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on.
Well, I'll jump right into it. This year has got to be. I've only been keeping up with MAIS 8-Man for a couple years now. I'm fairly new to that world down there between Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas. But there's some incredible football down that way, and just we were just talking about our top 5 games from this past week, and both of us had at least one MAIS game in there. Just some great football being played. When you look at it, has it always been this way, or do you see the competition level just getting better and better?
The competition level is clearly getting a lot better, and that's across the MAIS. It's not just 8-man football, but all the way in all the sports. It's just the difference in now and 20 years ago is just light years from what it used to be. But MAIS has been playing 8-man football probably since 2006, and this is the best that it's ever been.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Well, I want to back up just a little bit, and obviously with you being a part of the Twitter account and kind of keeping up with MAIS 8-Man, that was one of my first introductions really to that world. But did you start it, or kind of talk about the progression of it a little bit, and then how how the reaction has been to people seeing someone keep up with it on a regular basis?
It's been a lot of positive feedback from it. I started it 2 years ago, and I mean from nothing, but there was nobody really covering MAIS 8-man football, and in fact we were just kind of getting lost in the shuffle. I mean, wouldn't even be talked about at all in any kind of social media, world. They just worry about the 11-man, slate.
Yeah.
And so I just saw a need and filled it. And the 8-man schools and the players, the coaches, they seem to really appreciate it. And, we try to do the same thing every week. I put out a top 5 in each classification, a player of the week, and predict the games. And so it's just something to get these schools and coaches and players some notoriety that they deserve.
Absolutely, absolutely. And of course, our player of the week pool is a little bit larger, but I was glad to see that we lined up in terms of who should have been player of the week. Sawyer was super deserving of getting that award for the performance he had last week. My co-host Blake Biggs actually currently he's going through some pain. He goes to Mississippi State. So it's been a rough bit of a rough 24 hours. But Blake, I think you had a question for Johnny.
Yeah. Hey, Chad Powers, how are you?
Man, I'm doing great.
So okay. First thing I want to say is thank you for what you do.
Absolutely.
I'm a big believer. Yeah, I'm a big believer in you can't do the big things without the little things. And, I'll be honest, I've looked at your Twitter account to pull some of the scores that, we need for the rankings and the whole system we have. So just want to say, clap it up for Chad Powers over here.
I gotta throw. Listen, I gotta throw this in here too. I didn't know about. I'm kind of in the similar boat as you, Johnny. I I did not know about the PowerPoint standings. So I'm looking at this week after week going, why can't I get any scores? Like what are we doing here? And then
Right.
through your account, I found out about the PowerPoint standings. Absolute game changer. Absolute
Well,
game changer.
I don't like. I just wish we have a MAIS scores page. I don't know who's supposed to be running it, but clearly they're not anymore. But it was just so easy when they would post the scores. I could just retweet them.
Right.
It was easy because a lot of people just come to my page to kind of get the news and those type of things. And so I just wish that they would. I wish they would post it.
For sure. Blake, I didn't mean to
But
interrupt you.
it is easy to find it. It is easy to find it on the PowerPoint, on the website. But I would just rather it be posted.
Absolutely, no doubt. Blake, I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
Yeah. So just looking at your Saturday thoughts from this yesterday, excuse me. So looking at number one, Briarfield to me is the heavy favorite in the division. I got to look at the Excel. I'm still trying to pull it up. Obviously, you saw the game against Briarfield Prairie View, didn't you?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just to clear that up, that went into overtime, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
okay.
I didn't know that. Okay. Wow.
So I kind of figured. Yeah. I mean, their only real competition is Tallulah, who's 3-3. Briarfield's still improving. What a game against Prairie View. Kind of talked about that. What do you think about? I don't know if you've looked at our rankings. Columbus Christian, DeSoto, and Wilkinson County being unranked. What do you think about that?
I think that's fair. I don't know 8-man football outside of the MAIS, so I really couldn't go off of that. But DeSoto and WCCA and Columbus, they're all in what we would consider. They've changed it up to Division I and Division II. It's a weird. They just changed that this year, but they would actually be 1A. So the River Oaks and the Prairie View and all them would be 2A. I don't know why they didn't just leave it that way.
Yeah, it's
but
interesting.
but WCCA and DeSoto and them are smaller schools.
Yeah.
DeSoto has been on a tear for a few years. They had won 27 in a row and was really the best 8-man school in the MAS for a while. But they lost a lot. But I would say that's fair for them to be unranked in a national or Southeast top 25. I would I don't know how good some of those schools are, but I know River Oaks is loaded. And I think Prairie View and Humphreys are very good too. So I would look at them as, to me, if I was to rank our schools just a top 5 overall, I would say River Oaks is 1, Prairie View 2. I think Humphreys and Briarfield would be right there together for 3. And I think Newton Academy's probably 4, would round out 4 and 5.
I was really excited for that Newton Humphreys game a couple weeks ago. That was a huge one.
Yeah. And Humphreys is loaded as well. Newton's been good for several years as well. Their coach has been there a while, and he's a winner. And their team just plays winning football.
You've been keeping up with 8-man down there for a while, and you've seen a lot of the teams, a lot of games. I got to get your opinion on this. What is the best helmet in MAIS 8-man?
The best helmet. I tell you, kind of like a surprising one is Tensaw's helmet. They've got like an Indian that's very detailed. I think that's a pretty cool one.
Yeah.
They painted a few years ago. They had it painted at midfield, and it was a pretty detailed painting to be at midfield for a small school for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. That's solid. I think our highest. They didn't win, but I think our highest Um, see, I don't think Blake the Tense's helmet. Well, now that I look at it, the Tense's helmet is the red and blue one, right?
Yeah. That was all pictures I could find on the internet.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So if we can get a picture of that Tensis helmet, we can get it updated. And because we did, I don't know if he knows about it. We did like a helmet tournament thing, and I made helmets for every single 8-man team in the Southeast. And that was I managed to do that in a month and a half, and
Record
that
time.
was a doozy. Yeah, that was a doozy. So it's not all correct. I mean, most of them are, like 90% of them are, but some of these like MAIS schools, like I think Benton Academy, I could not find a picture of their helmet on the internet.
Benton's logo now, and that's like Tensall with their deal. I'm trying to remember what their mascot would even be called, but I don't know if it's actually on the helmet.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Benton's mascot
Benton's got like the old. They have like the Las Vegas Raiders logo, I think.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Yeah, there were just some like I could not find a good picture on the internet.
I need to get on. I'll help y'all out. I'll do we'll do a MAIS 8-man helmet challenge, and
you're the man.
That way we can try to get them all.
I think the highest voted one we had was Wilkinson.
Yeah,
with the ram horns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good look, and it's also inspired, I feel like, by like a Michigan LA Rams kind of deal, but it's their own twist on it, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that they didn't just copy and paste.
Yeah. I agree.
So we talk about 4A with River Oaks and Prairie View and Briarfield, and obviously they're stacked. But when they have the division split up by state, right? It's somewhat
no, it's not split by state.
Okay,
it's
gotcha.
It's split by just enrollment.
Well, I think my question still works. If you had to rate 1 to 3 the Mississippi, Louisiana, and Arkansas schools, in terms of the state, is Louisiana maybe the best state right now in MAIS 8-man, or is it Mississippi? Because Mississippi's solid.
Well, the problem is there's going to be a lot more schools in Mississippi.
True.
Than there are in Louisiana. There's only a handful of Louisiana schools and then a handful of Arkansas schools. So, I mean, I would lean towards saying, okay, it's be more Mississippi, but River Oaks is the best. River Oaks is the, overwhelming favorite in 8-man. They would have won it last year if they didn't have to forfeit their games. So, I mean, they're in Louisiana, so I'd say they're number one. DeSoto's number one in Arkansas, and then I would say the number one Mississippi school is Humphreys. Now you got Prairie View up in Louisiana too.
True. Yeah.
Ben Sword Christian School is always solid. So we've got a few Louisiana schools.
Interesting.
It's usually all the Louisiana schools are those schools that are going to be hugging the Mississippi state line.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Blake, what you got?
Yeah. So still trying to keep your, ID or, identity anonymous. So, gotta ask you, Bobby Boucher, who do you think is going to win District 4?
River Oaks.
River Oaks? Okay.
I don't know.
Who do you think's going to win it? Who's going to win it?
You got to go Prairie View.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, fair enough.
River Oaks. I'd have to.
Sorry, go ahead.
I would have to go back and check. I mean, did River Oaks play Briarfield too?
Yeah, they beat them earlier in the year, 22-14.
Yeah. So, you got the common opponent there. But River Oaks, I'll be surprised if River Oaks doesn't win it.
But let's put an asterisk. I think I pronounced that right. Asterisk around that first game of the year. Nobody really knows what anybody has. It's really when you get further in the season, when you beat a good team, that I think is impressive. Because early on, you really don't know what they have.
I think that's true, but I also think River Oaks is extremely athletic and confident, and I think the problem with that is they overlook people, and I think other people give them their best shot. So I think that kind of hurts them sometimes.
Well, we'll find out here in the month of October. They've got both Prairie View
and Claiborne's undefeated too.
Yeah. And I don't mean to overlook Claiborne. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I do. River
I think
Oaks
they're clearly third.
Right. Yeah, and River Oaks still has both of them coming up, so
Correct.
They could absolutely go through the gauntlet there. It's mentioning River Oaks. Speaking of River Oaks, I did want to ask. Last year, I don't think they were on a lot of our radars until, not in a bad way. Like obviously MAIS, but in terms of the actual of the South, didn't really know that there was really an option until Coach Barton reached out and said, "Hey, we're interested in the Florida tournament." And at that point, I'm like, "Well, wait a minute, you guys, that the dates have never lined up." And that's when I found out about everything that happened, at least from Coach Barton's side. But down that way, whenever all that stuff started unfolding with River Oaks having to forfeit and then going to Florida and playing in the tournament, what was kind of the overall reaction with that, or your reaction to that? And then obviously, what was everybody's kind of thoughts about River Oaks going to Florida and the way they played there?
I think from a MAIS overall standpoint, they, was just glad River Oaks wasn't playing in the playoff structure that we have. And a lot of people, this is, again, across all sports, but what happened to River Oaks happens to a lot of people. If somebody thinks a violation has happened, they'll wait till all the games have played and then bring it up.
Really?
They hold that card until the end, and they bring it up, and then it's like they forfeited all their games, so they didn't make the playoffs because of PowerPoints. I've seen somebody have to forfeit all their games, but one still slide into the playoffs as the 16th seed and win it all.
Wow.
So, but that's a typical, move people make. And in private school sports, I'm sure nationwide, but especially in MAIS, people get a little jealous when it comes to like recruiting and stuff like that. Everybody would do it if they could, and if they can't, they just get jealous about it.
That's crazy. Did it spark any conversation about when they went to Florida? Any conversation about possibly, maybe making another? Because obviously they left a great impression on the tournament for MAIS football. I think it turned a lot of people on to, hey, there's some good football over this way. If this is one of the best they've got, there's some good football.
I think you're going to see some schools like they implemented a rule this year where if you have over 50 boys in 8th through 11th grade, when they do the numbers, that you can't compete for the championship. And I think you're going to see, because some schools decided to go ahead on and go to 11-man, and they are struggling mightily. And I think a lot of them would reconsider. They're going to reconsider their decision, and then just say, "Hey, we're going to play 8-man season, and the Florida tournament is an option for us."
Interesting.
Yeah, I really believe you're going to see that. At one point, the 3 schools that kind of got forced to 11-man because of the enrollment numbers, they were 0-6 and had lost all 6 games, 0 to 268.
Wow.
So we know 11-man's a different world, and some of these schools can't do it.
What do you think it would take for them to change that rule based off of the results of it? Because that's not you would think that's not a healthy. You put this rule in, you're like, okay, let's see how it works. That's not a healthy result to a rule like that.
Well, I think the schools some of the lower 11-man schools that are beating those teams think it's a healthy rule.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Because they you're getting it from all sides. So like the smaller 8-man schools, they want them gone. They want them gone. And then the 11-man schools that have been struggling, they want them to come up because they want more schools they can compete against. So there's not a big push to let them stay. But I would say those schools need to consider just saying, hey, you got to, if you think you can be successful in 11-man, go for it. But I would rather go 5-5 in 8-man than go 0-10 in 11-man.
No doubt. No doubt. Blake, what do you got?
Okay, I got to ask. Since you do put out the scores. I mean, you could name drop a school. You can name drop a region. I don't care. Who's the worst about getting scores in on time?
I mean, there's some that just don't ever report it at all. And so I'd say there's a lot of people that don't do that. I mean, our league as a whole, again, not posting it on the Twitter page, I think, a horrible look. But
Yeah,
I don't run that. I don't run that Twitter page. I mean, if you're going to be on X or Twitter, like you said, whatever you want to call it, let's just have somebody that just posts the scores. It's not that hard. And we're not required to put our stuff on Max Preps.
Right.
So because we're not required to, a lot of people don't.
Yeah. No,
So,
that's a problem all over the place.
Yeah.
I don't know of a conference that does require it. Now they might require them to send the score in, but I don't know of a lot of them. Now I think it personally hurts the program and mainly the kids because the kids want to see what their stats are. They want to. That's part of how we. That's how our committee picks play of the week is based off of, hey, this was a close game within 16 points. Oh, there's stats update. Okay, let's look at the stats and let's pick. Let's nominate somebody off of that.
Correct.
So that's how that whole. So really you're hurting the kid. And I know there's a lot of staffs that are very small and busy, and everybody there's staffs where they don't work at the school and they work a full-time job. Completely get that, understand that, but I mean there's got to be something we can do to do better about providing that and just getting it out there, because a lot of people, even past us, a lot of people are interested in seeing that.
Yeah.
There's got to be something.
I mean, there's a lot of MAIS schools, 8-man schools that don't follow our page and have no social media presence at all. So
Blake can tell you all about that.
Yeah. So
Trying to do the
I get it for sure.
I want to ask the Sharkey Issaquena situation a couple years ago. Have you ever seen anything like that where they're dominant? They win the championship. The next year, if I'm not mistaken, the school closed. Or was
Yes.
it? Yeah.
I've actually seen that multiple times.
Really?
Multiple times. Now, Sharkey was a unique situation because a massive tornado hit their school, and there was some, problems stemming from that. But from what I've seen in some of our schools in the past, I could tell you of a couple that were won a state championship one year, closed the next, were competing one year, closed the next. We're private schools, and recruiting goes on, and you allow kids to come to your school for free, and things get, finances can get sideways in a hurry.
Has that gotten really bad over the last couple of years?
I mean, it's been like that for decades.
That's fair.
I mean, and what'll happen is, it's one thing if you have an enrollment of 600-700 kids. Well, you got that's a lot of money coming in. When you got 200 kids, I mean, you're operating on some margins that can go sideways quick.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
So I think that's, like I said, we've seen it plenty of times.
Once we get to the playoffs, of course, we're still a ways out from that, but at this point in the season, and it may change as the weeks go on, but give me a dark horse for a championship run?
I mean, I guess it would be hard to call them a dark horse. I mean, I think so. You're looking at Briarfield being an overwhelming favorite, so I would say I think WCCA is going to go undefeated.
Interesting.
And to say they're a dark horse, I mean they were in the championship game last year, so I think they have a chance to be there again. So DeSoto, might go from dominance to not making the championship game, and then I think with River Oaks and Prairie View being the overwhelming favorite, I would say Humphreys being that dark horse in that league.
Blake, what do you got?
I think Humphreys could win it.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
I think they could win it. I mean they're going to be the underdog, but they could win it.
Let's see Humphreys. What is Humphreys' schedule? So I think Humphreys could go. Let me double check myself, but I think Humphreys. See, who do they have left? They have Briarfield, Porter's Chapel, Christ Covenant, Benton. I think legitimately they could go unbeaten the entire year. Maybe.
Who they got left?
Briarfield, Porter's Chapel, Christ Covenant, and Benton.
Yeah, the only team they could get beat in is Briarfield, which would still be in. And I think Briarfield playing all those Division One schools is gonna help them in the long run.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
And you know how with our system, the PowerPoint system, it all matters. It matters what side of the bracket you get on.
Yeah.
I mean, Prairie View and River Oaks could be on the same side of the bracket. So
I hope not. Though.
So then one of them don't make the championship game.
Yeah, man. I think we really need a River Oaks Humphreys championship. No disrespect intended for any of the other teams.
Yeah.
But I think that one, that'd be a good one. Blake,
I think it could happen.
Blake, what do you got?
I don't have anything.
Okay. I got 2 more questions for you. Just spaced on one. Oh, okay. No, I know what the question was. Okay. So obviously you guys have down in that area. You got ACEL, Association of Christian Educators, Louisiana. Teams like JPG, Acadiana Christian, SWLA. You've got Mid-South Christian Football League there in Mississippi. Obviously, you got AAA in Arkansas. You've got some Heartland Christian Athletic Association teams in Arkansas. So there's some non-MAIS competition in each of those states. And it seems like this year there is a little bit more crossover, like a Columbus Christian playing Victory and Russell and some of the other ones. But what scheduling wise, is there anything that could change to where you could see more MAIS schools playing non-MAIS schools, or is it so important to keep playing all the MAIS games you can for the PowerPoints?
Yeah, it is. It is extremely important for the PowerPoint structure. But but people do it for different reasons, for winning and or maybe travel, whatever it might be. But I think the PowerPoints makes the scheduling pretty hard to schedule more than one.
Right. Well, everybody's and everybody's got to have homecoming and senior night. So I mean,
right.
You gotta have those games. Okay, I lied. 2 questions. What is the craziest distance for a game? Because you guys go, there's just there's quite a bit of difference. I mean, I think last week, Blake, help me out. It was DeSoto and Humphreys, I think it was, right?
Yeah, I think that was 4 hours.
Yeah, it was a 4-hour drive. What is the craziest? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'd say 5 or 6 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, some of the teams down in the southern part of the states, like last year with Christian Collegiate on the in Gulfport.
Yeah.
If they go to DeSoto, you're looking at 5 6 hours.
Wow. And people around here complain about a 2-hour drive.
And we commonly see 2. I mean, 2 hours is That's what regular.
It's pretty standard. Yeah.
Pretty standard. Pretty standard.
Yeah. Last question: is there any plans to move to or add like a Facebook page or an Instagram? With our social media, I've found that with each platform, we kind of reach a different group of people. Like Instagram is the younger folks, Facebook is the little bit older folks, Twitter is more tech savvy people. Is there any plans to add anything like that? Or are we pretty set with X?
I mean, we haven't thought about it. I guess we could, but we've kind of just staying with X for now.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, on X, it's at MAIS 8-Man Fan. It's a great follow to keep up with football down in that area. But, Johnny, I appreciate you coming on with us. And, man, I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of MAIS season looks like. It's going to be fun down the stretch.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Appreciate it.
Hi, man.
At MAIS 8-Man Fan on Twitter. And I guess I need to bring Blake Biggs back in, because I accidentally hung up on Blake. Blake, I accidentally hung up on you. My bad.
Hey, you're all right.
My bad. All right. No, good stuff. I like I said, it was really within the last couple of years I started keeping up with MAIS, and I have been pleasantly surprised with the competition. And we talked about it with the rankings, Blake, but there's a lot of people that had no idea about any of these teams. So then we do the rankings and put some of these teams on there. Or some of these teams end up not put them on there, but they end up on there because of the formula and their strength of schedule and wins and stuff like that. And people go, I had no idea this school even existed. So it's been really cool to see to keep up with MAIS football. And just, I mean, there's some really, and like I said, I think River Oaks really put them on the map last year. I would venture to say in a mainstream kind of way, being at the Florida tournament. I would love to see, because I know their championship, I think it's the week after Florida, so they would have to get like just playoff teams that maybe get knocked off in the first round. But I would love to see more MAIS teams in Florida.
Yeah.
Just to shake things up a little bit.
No, absolutely. I think River Oaks last year that was awesome. That was awesome to see, especially with that big guy. I forgot his name.
Kenneth Boston Jr. Yeah.
Kenneth Boston. Yeah, Kenneth Boston. I can't talk. Boston. Boston. Kenneth Boston. I'm gonna just end my thought there. Yeah, it's over.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So before we the interview, we gave our top 5 games from the past week. And so now I want us to go through our top 5 games coming up this week. There's a whole bunch of games, and again, the games we don't talk about, and then on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, if you want to see scores, go to the link in our social media. We'll have all of the we'll have a live scoreboard that gets updated. As scores come in, we'll get it updated. And then, but I want to go through our top 5 games of the upcoming week. So Blake, I'll go first this time. And I want to start with my honorable mention. It's Pack Panthers and Westminster Schools of Augusta. Pack is 4-2. Westminster is 5-1. Believe it or not, these two have never played. Pack has played several games in Augusta, Georgia with the Eagles and other teams there, but they've never played WSA, and both of them are on a tear. Pack's only lost to the number one ranked team currently. And then Westminster Schools of Augusta, their loss, I ought to know this off the top of my head, but I don't. Let me see. Their only loss was first game of the year to GSIC, 14-7, which is a team that I don't think Pack has played them yet. So there's not a common opponent. Yeah, they have not played them yet. They play on the 17th of October. So, so this will be really, really interesting.
Yeah.
To kind of keep up with this one. Nothing past that. Just both teams are doing really well. It's a first time matchup. So it'll be interesting to keep an eye on.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so for my honorable mention, I'm gonna go Florida School for the Deaf at Alabama School for the Deaf.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. So number one, it's a Florida-Bama matchup. Pretty cool.
Gotta love it every time.
Number two, these are some of the coolest mascots in 8-man. You got the Dragons at the Silent Warriors.
Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Schools for the Deaf are undefeated when it comes to mascots, dude.
Yes.
Undefeated.
Except like, you'll get your Bulldogs and your Eagles and your Patriots and like, okay.
But there's not a ton of them though. Like
No.
Tennessee is the Vikings.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was North Carolina or Eastern North Carolina. One of the two of them is the Bears. Kentucky's the Colonels. Maryland is the Orioles.
Oh, Arkansas it goes Arkansas School for the Deaf Leopards.
Yeah.
So I call them Deaf Leopards sometimes.
Yeah.
Like and
I think Oklahoma's like the Bison.
Yeah.
Kansas maybe the Jackrabbits.
I think Wisconsin like the Firebirds or something.
Yeah, Minnesota's the Trojans, I think. I mean, they are undefeated when it comes to mascots.
Yeah.
In terms of a grouping, just overall. But no, that for sure. That's an interesting one. All right, so my honorable mention was Pack Westminster Schools. And again, this is not ranked in any specific order, but one of my top 5 games this upcoming week is the Faithful Explorer Warriors at Sehi Warriors. Southeastern Association of Homeschool Educators or Home Educators, whatever. Faithful Explorers are 4-1. Sehi's 4-2. Now Faithful Explorers won the first matchup 30-28 when they played earlier this year. So real good ball game. And that was one of the only losses that was one of the losses Sehi has. The other one was to Meridian. But these are two of the best teams in Mid-South Christian Football League. Of course, Pine Belt Spartans 5-2 right now, but this one's going to be really fun to keep an eye on. I think on Saturdays when they play this one.
Yeah. So for my 5, I'm going. This one's kind of at first you think it'll be a head scratcher, but once you hear my point, you'll kind of see where I'm coming from. Southern Christian, who's ranked number 4 at Jacksonville Christian. I know Jacksonville Christian just lost, pretty bad. But I feel like if Jacksonville Christian, didn't have Noah Lee get hurt, we're talking about Jacksonville Christian as a top 25 team.
And we don't know how and we don't know the extent of the injury. It may have just been it may just been a one-off. Hey, he's back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if Jacksonville Christian can get him back, Southern's they played a pretty solid schedule so far. Nothing just out of the water. I mean, you've got East Central really, and then you got Freedom.
Yeah.
This will be not only the hardest. I feel like Freedom is the hardest team they played.
So far,
then it'll be Jacksonville. Yeah, so far. But if Noah Lee comes back fully healthy, they'll be the best player that they've seen all year.
For sure.
I
agree.
Now, I think Southern's going to handle business, but don't be surprised if Jacksonville Christian pulls off the upset.
My next top 5 game, Blake, your honorable mention for last week was Acadiana. I'm going to go Acadiana and JPG this upcoming week. JPG is 8-0, Acadiana 6-1. That one being to JPG earlier this year. JPG has won the last 10 matchups between these two. They have not lost a game since October 23rd of 2021. It's a 37-game win streak. It's a win streak, not a lot of – we all talked about the Evangel win streak and the DeSoto win streak. Nobody really – I didn't even really talk about the JPG win streak. But they're at 37 games right now. So Acadiana – and, I mean, Acadiana's been on a tear the last couple weeks, winning some good games. Now, last week they had a little bit of a break, but beating Mid-South, beating SWLA, Acadiana has put themselves back really in that number 2 position, which these two played for the championship last year, and Acadiana almost beat them. JPG won it, I think it was 22-20 in overtime. Great ball game.
Yeah.
And it was broadcast live by 446 Sports, I think, on YouTube.
Yeah.
But this one, this is a huge opportunity for Acadiana. So JPG Acadiana, I'm going as one of my top 5 games this week.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am going for, let's see, for my number 4 spot. I'm going Westwood, who was ranked 23. I do not think that will be ranked tomorrow morning, considering the volume that they lost by, at David Emmanuel. Both teams just kind of, David Emmanuel had some bad losses, but they rebounded last week. Good losses, but, they got beat pretty handedly. And Westwood just came off a spanking. Both teams just looking for an answer. This is one of those games, James, I feel like you're going to see, fireworks.
Yeah.
From both teams. Both teams
agree.
looking to make a statement and come back. It's either going to be a shootout. It's either going to be a shutout. I don't know.
I mean, the way both of these offenses are performing, I could see it being in the 30s.
Yeah. Let me pull up their – I'm trying to think. Westwood's 25.71 points per game, and David Emmanuel's 40 points per game.
Okay.
Pretty David Emmanuel has the edge.
Defensively,
defensively they're the same. They both have 18. Yeah. So
really it could be in the 30s.
Yeah. With that being said, I don't think David Emmanuel has a very clear edge either. Even on paper. Yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah.
That'll be one to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
My third game of the week coming up in my top 5. Blake, I know you probably picked this one, but I got to do it. I'm going Briarfield Humphreys.
I actually did not pick that one.
Okay, well there you go. Briarfield 4-2, Humphreys 6-0. Briarfield, the 2 losses, they've only lost by a total of 7 points. The 1 point loss Friday, and then it might be 9 points. I think they lost 22-14 to River Oaks. So they've only lost by a total of 9 points with those 2 losses. Humphreys has won 17 of their last 19. So they're on a tear dating back to including last year. But the 2 teams these two have not played since 2017. So 8 years since the last time they played. And then Humphreys, the whole series, I think they've played 7 or 8 games. Humphreys has only won 1 time. In 2015, they won 46-44. So, and again, 2015, 2017 really doesn't matter today, but the history of it's interesting. And both of these teams are really if it's like we were talking about earlier, if someone's going to put a 1 in the loss category for Humphreys, this is the last shot, I think, for it to happen.
Yeah.
With Briarfield.
Well, James, something that I feel like needs to be brought up. Briarfield's 2 losses are to River Oaks and Prairie View,
right?
Who are both ranked,
right?
And
right.
Briarfield's proven they've won chips. They've won state championships.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit underrated. It's only an hour and a half drive, 90 miles.
Yeah.
Briarfield. I'm not calling for the upset. Could it happen? Absolutely. They're not driving 5 hours to another state. It's only 90 miles.
I'm surprised you didn't bring this game up, but here, let me ask you this. If they beat Humphreys Friday night, which one is a bigger obviously there's a couple. I would say there's a couple nominees for upset of the year.
Yeah.
But which one's the bigger upset? That one or hang on. I'm trying to get it pulled up. And I should have mentioned it. Humphreys or Countryside Christian beating First Coast Christian.
I still think Countryside.
That was a crazy one. Since
I
let,
still
hey, let's do this. Since neither one of us brought it up, I do want to mention it. I didn't pick it because I thought you might, and didn't want to have overrun there. But hang on a second. I think we're still live. Okay, we're good. Countryside Christian, winless, going into the game against First Coast, which First Coast is not world beater. They've had their struggles this year, but Countryside a huge win Friday night. A massive upset on that one.
Yeah.
So, anyways, computer acted up here for a second. Chrome acted up, but we're good. We're still live.
Yeah. All right. Let me get at it.
Go for it.
So for my third game, I'm going Academy at the Lakes at Bradenton Christian. 4-1 versus 5-0. I still gotta put in.
Get any pizza with any toppings
for the rankings. One of these teams might be ranked tomorrow. They might not, but they might.
Fair enough.
And this, regardless of if they're ranked or not, or if somebody's ranked or somebody's not, this is still huge. Like, this is a quality win on the line.
Yeah.
At the very least. 4-1 versus 5-0. Let me scroll over to the Sunshine State tab. So, I'm trying to think. Bradenton Christian, 37.2 points per game. Not a strong strength of schedule so far. 6 points allowed.
Yeah.
Per game.
They've only allowed a total of 32.
And Academy at the Lakes has only scored 21 a game and 15 a game, but their resume is stacked. They have 2 quality wins versus a Leesburg team and a Foundation Christian team who is also ranked at the top. So they have the quality win as well.
Right. And that was just the average. Academy at the Lakes, they've scored 28. And then, like I said, the Bradenton's allowed a total of 32.
Yeah.
So and Academy at the Lakes has won 4 in a row.
Yeah. So it's kind of a fire versus ice kind of situation.
Right.
Who's put the other out first.
Yeah. First time matchup in this one too. I only know this because I picked that one too, so I had a couple notes about it. But a first time matchup in that one. Another one of my top 5 games of the upcoming week is down in Alabama. Down in Alabama. I'm going with Evangel Christian versus Cornerstone Christian, and this is my pick. Earlier you said you have a pick that's like, a little outside the box. This is my pick for outside the box. Evangel has lost 2 to Macon East and to Trinity. Trinity had Cornerstone on the ropes, which Cornerstone's 5-0. But I feel like without looking at Cornerstone, well, let me look at Cornerstone's schedule real fast. Because I think this might be the last shot. Realistically, well, they still have Escambia and Macon East, so I take that back. Now here's what I'll say: this could start a skid for them, because you play Evangel Christian, Escambia, and then Macon East. So, this could either I think this 3-game stretch will make or break Cornerstone. But this is the first piece of it. Cornerstone, I talked about JPG's win streak. Cornerstone has not lost an 8-man game since 2023. They got knocked out of the
Yeah.
playoffs. They got knocked out of the playoffs in or no, I'm sorry. Let's see. Well, no, this says haven't lost since November 11th is the last time they were met. But Evangel and Cornerstone, I got to check myself on that. Evangel and Cornerstone have met each other in the last 2 playoffs. So they played in the regular season, and then they played in the playoffs. So there's a lot of history in this one. Okay, yeah. November 11th is the last time Cornerstone lost, and it was to Springwood in the playoffs. And then since then, Cornerstone has not lost an 8-man game. They've also won back-to-back AISA 8-man championships. So
Yeah.
this is a big one. Evangel Cornerstone, that's my pick for one of the top 5 games upcoming this week.
Yeah. And that was actually my number 2, James.
Oh, dang
So, yeah. So I'm probably going to go with my number 1. Just go ahead because I'm kind of running low on time.
Go for it.
Hang on. I'm going to get this connected back to my AirPod. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Didn't mean to break the fourth wall at all.
No, you're good.
So for my number 1 pick, I've got, this is based off last week's ranking, number 13, Faith, at JP2. They both share a loss to Carey, to Carey Christian. And, the winner of this one escapes having 2 losses on their record for the year, and
The winner or the loser?
the winner will escape having 2 losses.
Oh, gotcha.
their
I got what
record.
you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's also most likely will be a ranked matchup, top 25 ranked matchup.
Right.
I really, I know Faith got a small roster. I know they like to run the ball, but so does JP2. I think this is one of those games where it's going to be just like, kind of one of those, Mississippi State strategies, just hand it to fluff.
Yeah.
Just kind of one of those things. So we're going to see.
There you go. Well, my last game we talked about it a second ago, the Academy at the Lakes, Bradenton. You had it picked as well, so we picked 2 out of 5 similar games. So that's interesting. But by the way, I forgot to do this last week. I think it was last week I forgot to do this. I did want to make sure I did it this week. I want to give a big shout out to Sawyer Roth from Marvell Academy and Micah Smith from the East Central Patriots, the offensive and defensive players, extreme players of the week, presented by Fairlife Core Power. Both of them will get a T-shirt. They'll both get samples. We'll work on getting that to them. But did want to give a big congrats to both of those young men for the great game that they had. And then the week before it was Levi Ashburn and Trace Turner. Levi from the Heat and Trace Turner from Wake Christian. So I want to give a shout out to those young men real quick. I forgot to do that. Just a reminder, tomorrow morning we will put out the next edition of the top 25 rankings for 8-man football here in the South. So keep an eye out, keep a lookout for that. On Wednesday, probably on Wednesday, maybe on Thursday, we'll be announcing the next round of Extreme Players of the Week based off the games from this past weekend. And of course, you can always go to the link in our bio, see the scoreboard. If there's games we didn't talk about that you wanted to hear, wanted to find out about or want to keep up with the score, you can always go on there and see that information. Keep up with those scores. And then if you have final scores, go ahead and shoot us a DM or, something. Let us know how the game went, right? That would be awesome if you could do that. Blake, you got anything else?
No, sir. I'm good.
Cool. Well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Extreme Talk presented by Cornett Performance. Big shout out to him. You can reach out to him on Instagram at Cornett Performance. Shoot him an email, cornettperformance@gmail.com. Big thank you to Johnny Perrette with MAIS 8-Man Fan on Twitter for coming on to talk MAIS football. For Blake Biggs, I'm James Shannon. See ya!